Hi guys, it's Anthony with AJK Beauty back with another video. Super excited to be back in the kitchen. I tried doing my bedroom last time, and also I was super jet lagged from just coming back from a business trip, so I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to post a video, but I did. But I'm glad to be back in the kitchen. And with proper lighting and stuff, and do a review video. So this video is actually once again not a collection of like favorites. It's a comparison between three really similar in concept products, and it's one that I've actually been getting a few requests for to do. So I'm really excited to do it, and I've been looking forward to putting this video together. So this is actually going to be, last time I did a battle of, it was for vitamin C serums. This time around it's, I guess, battle of the exfoliating mask products, I guess. These are all exfoliating masks or exfoliating wash-off products. So they really vary in price range and how they worked for my skin. And so I wanted to go through each of them. They're all very popular. And I liked them each for different reasons, and then I have a favorite. So let's do this in reverse order rather than starting from like least favorite to favorite. I'm gonna go in the reverse and talk about my most favorite one and then work my way back because I have a little bit to say about the one that I like the least out of the three. So my favorite out of all three of these is going to be, it was a tough call, but it's gonna be the Peach and Lily Super Reboot Resurfacing Mask. This is a product from Peach and Lily's in-house line. I hope you can see that. It is available through the Peach and Lily site, or you can get this at Ulta stores, so it's super accessible, which is really nice, and it retails for $43. So I think there is 80 milliliters of product, so 2.7 ounces of product in this. So one of the main reason I like it, let's talk about what these do in general. So these are all exfoliating masks that feature alpha hydroxy and beta hydroxy acids as their chemical exfoliating ingredients, so AHA and BHA, all in various percentages, but they're all intended to exfoliate the outermost surface of the skin, remove excess oil, dead skin cells, kind of work some excess sebum out of the skin as well, just to give you kind of a more glowing, youthful, kind of new baby skin look. They are all used to work against hyperpigmentation and dark spots, and also texture issues. So if you've got like bumps and maybe just general texture issues on the skin, this can help kind of even everything out as well. So it's kind of like a smoothing, resurfacing, brightening product. All three of these are kind of geared towards that. So I think any skin type could use any of these really, but we'll talk about why I think different ones might be suited for different skin types. So back to the Peach and Lily Super Reboot Resurfacing Mask. This features 10% AHA and 0.5% BHA. So out of the three of these products, this has the lowest concentration of acids. So I have really oily, I used to, I guess. Now I have more normal combination skin, but I have big issues with excess dead skin and sebum, and I always have. So it's surprising that I would find the least concentrated one to be the most effective for my skin, because it usually takes some pretty hefty stuff to get through all the gunk on my face. But what Peach and Lily has done with their in-house line in general, and especially with this mask, and kudos to that team and Alicia Yoon, because their formulations are some of the best out there. They're able to take lower concentrations of acids and formulate them in a way that they're still just as effective, but they're gonna have less of a risk of potentially irritating the skin because they're a little bit more gentle. The same can be said for the Good Acids Pore Toner. I think that has less than 1% AHA in it, and a lot of other ones will have 5-10%, but it's still my favorite toner. And the same applies for this mask. I was really torn between this one and the Ordinary one, and we'll talk why, but the reason I love this mask is because it was so effective at brightening my skin and just giving me this like wonderful smoothness, knocking down all my like texture issues, or the majority of them. And I feel like it really helped to lighten some of my hyperpigmentation, but it did so without me feeling stripped or raw afterwards. I felt almost more hydrated after using this. So not only did I get the exfoliation benefit, but it came back through and just kind of like plumped up my skin and just kind of soothed and calmed it. So my skin actually looked more calm and settled than it did before I did an exfoliating step, which is kind of mind-blowing, right? You'd think that you finish with a mask and afterwards your skin's gonna be like, ow, 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 like I need something to help calm everything down. This is almost like 2-in-1. It calms and it exfoliates at the same time. It's amazing. The featured ingredients here outside of your acids are going to be agave extract, which is very, very soothing, hydrating, calming. You've got aloe in here. I think there's turmeric root, so all about reducing inflammation. What else is in here? There's a couple other really good ingredients too. Licorice root extract, green tea leaf extract, and Centella asiatica. So you have the acids coming in exfoliating, then you have this basically whole other mask within here that's calming, reducing inflammation, and hydrating. And so your skin's just left looking dewy and fresh and bright without needing to kind of do damage control afterwards, if that makes any sense. So it's got this beautiful kind of like seafoam green kind of blue color to it from the agave. And the product is like a jelly. It's like a syrupy kind of jelly consistency. I hope you can see that. Yeah, it's got that jelly consistency. It has quite an acidic scent. It reminds me a lot of some of the acne line from Dermalogica. Like you smell those acids coming through, but there's also this kind of clean, fresh kind of aloe or agave scent as well. So it kind of skirts the line between like just being like a clinical scented ingredient and something a little bit more spa-like. But it's free of a lot of I don't think there's fragrances. So no synthetic dyes, fragrances, sulfates, parabens, mineral oil, silicones. You get the idea, no animal testing. So the scent is coming from those active ingredients, and they pulled it off really, really well. I don't think this needs a fragrance. And so you can see it just goes on the skin like a gel. And then you just want to get a nice thin layer, and you'll be able to tell as you apply it where you have actually put the product. And I bring that up because that becomes an issue with another product in this lineup. So you can see exactly where it's going. You're just going to put a thin layer. You let this sit, I think it's 10 to 20 minutes. Let me get that right. Yeah, 15 to 20 minutes. I felt a little tingle the first few times I used this. And then as my skin got more used to it, there was less of a tingle. And then you rinse it, and it's not going to dry like a peel-off mask, even though it kind of looks like it would. It doesn't turn into like a peel-off or stiffen. It just maintains that kind of jelly consistency. And then you're just going to rinse off the excess after you're done, pat, 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 dry, and you're good to go to move on to your other steps. So very, very simple to use. All three of these have that same process. So it's simple to use. No muss, no fuss. You put it on, you wash it off, and the results are pretty great. I came back to this. This is actually my second bottle of it, or second jar of it. This is the one that I decided to repurchase because it really is so good at, like I said, getting the exfoliation done, but then also soothing and calming the skin and hydrating it. So you almost get two masks, I'd say, in one here. So that's the winner. That's the one that I absolutely love. Everything from the Peach and Lily in-house line so far has been absolutely incredible. So it's no wonder that this one's another knockout product. So cool. Moving on to the one that is next in line for best out of the three. So in Second place, I guess, would be the Ordinary solution. This is their AHA 30% BHA 2% peeling solution. So this one is the one that I'm currently using right now, and then once I'm done, I'll come back to the Peach and Lily. It is the most affordable out of the three. I want to say I paid. I'm gonna have to look. Please hold while I check the price. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check. Okay, so this, the Ordinary one is, or I paid on the Ordinary site $7.20. So keep in mind that, that is an incredibly good deal. But when you look at it, that $7 to $40 jump seems like a lot. This is 1 fluid ounce, and then this is 2.7. So you're coming up on 3 times the size. So I'd say, ounce for ounce, the Peach and Lily product ends up being about twice as costly, ounce for ounce. So when I actually did the full blog review of this product, I ended up saying, or landing on that I would, for a first time user of like a strong exfoliating mask or peeling fluid, that I would actually recommend the Ordinary one, maybe even over the Peach and Lily product, just because A, of that affordability, and then B, even though I find the Peach and Lily product to be much, they're so well formulated, it does the exfoliating piece, plus it comes back in with that hydration and the smoothing and calming. The Ordinary product, at least on my skin, had a similar result for the exfoliation side. It does an excellent job of lightening hyperpigmentation, brightening the skin, really smoothing out any of those texture irregularities. It's a little lacking in the way of, coming back in with a lot of soothing and calming. But contrary to what I've heard a lot of people say, oh, I don't like that one because it's just down and dirty acid, and it's, super, super irritating, and it doesn't have any ingredients to hydrate or soothe the skin as it's working. I didn't find that to be the case. After glycolic acid, which is the AHA, before we get to some of the other AHAs, and the salicylic acid, the BHA in this formula, aloe leaf juice or aloe leaf water is the third ingredient after glycolic acid and water. So it's pretty high up there on the list, and I personally felt that it was effective in hydrating the skin and offering some calming properties while it was doing the exfoliation. Now, the tingle and the intensity of this product is much higher than the Peach and Lily product. You're looking at 30% AHA versus 10%. You're looking at 2% BHA versus the 0.5. So 3 times and 4 times stronger when you're looking at this product. So it is very, very strong. It does tingle and sting, even after using it consistently for over a month now. I think I'm actually a little over 2 months maybe. My skin still is kind of surprised when I put it on. But I found the results to be comparable to the Peach and Lily, which is my favorite, enough so that I think, especially someone on a budget, I'm not going to say, oh, go run out and drop $40 on this if it's a deal breaker between not trying an exfoliating mask. I would say, if someone really wants to try one but needs to keep the cost down, there's no problem with starting with this one. And then once you're ready to level up and you see the benefits and effects, but and then you want to move to something a little bit more well formulated or differently formulated, then I'd go for the Peach and Lily. But if you're someone with sensitive skin and you've reacted poorly to really strong acid peels or acid masks in the past, then I would start with the Peach and Lily because, like I said, it's almost like a calming mask that just happens to be really good at exfoliating, as opposed to exfoliation is the main and pretty much only thing it does, and we'll throw in some aloe to help your skin recover from it. This is just a really perfect mask. So, but still, the Ordinary is a great option. I mean, $7.20. I've been using this for I think about 2 months now. I'm only halfway through, so I'll probably get another couple months out of it. As far as consistency, it's this really interesting deep red, kind of burgundy fluid. It's not completely like watery. It's almost like a serum. And then you're just going to massage it in just enough to kind of spread it through, but not enough so it's completely thin. You still want to be able to see where you've applied the product. And then you let this one sit. I think 5 to 10 minutes is your max on this one. And then you're just going to rinse it off with cool water or lukewarm water. And off you go. You're on to your next steps. This one does dry down to almost like a tacky, kind of like syrupy consistency, but it doesn't get completely solid in a sense. It's just almost like gluey, kind of tacky. But yeah, I really like it. I think, you know, when I'm personally on a budget and can't really go for the Peach and Lily product, then this is whoa. Whoops, made a mess. This is an excellent alternative. Let me get a paper towel for that. Hold on. Whoops. Sorry about that. I had a little spill. But yeah, I think this is an excellent alternative. It's an affordable alternative. But I think someone that has been using this consistently and is just looking for something a little bit more, or something that's just a little bit more gently formulated and has some more hydrating and calming and soothing ingredients beyond the aloe, I think you're going to be shocked with how good this is, considering it's like a third of the power, the exfoliating power. So those are those two. Now let's talk about my least favorite out of the three, and it's probably the most controversial opinion. It's going to be the Drunk Elephant T.L.C. Sukari Babyfacial. Real quick, I don't think I showed you guys the package for the ordinary product. So that's what that looks like. We can get a close-up of the bottle. There you go. So that's that. Anyway, Drunk Elephant's T.L.C. Sukari Babyfacial. This product is one that I was actually really, really excited to try. Because I, at the time, was really interested in Drunk Elephant products and was kind of picking up one of each of everything from their line. But I decided against getting the full version of this product. I'm going to cut out again because I want to check the price. I think I know it, but I want to double check. This is actually the, I guess they're like mini size or like deluxe sample size. So this is 15 milliliters, 0.5 ounces. Let me get the prices on all those. One moment, please. Okay, so the mini size is 0.5 fluid ounces, and this is $28. And then the full size product is 1.69 or 67 ounces. It's 50 milliliters, and that's $80. So you're looking at a product that is almost double the cost of the Peach and Lily one for an ounce less of product. I don't know what that's going to equate to from the ordinary over here. I think so. This product's about $40 an ounce. This is $7 an ounce, and then this one's right in the middle. So yeah, if you can kind of do the math on that, this is definitely the priciest out of the three. The reason why it ended up being least favorite or last on my list, I wouldn't even consider it a favorite. I honestly didn't like it. Is a couple things. First off is my personal skin, or my own skin, doesn't really do that well with marula oil, and marula oil is kind of the kind of hero ingredient for all of Drunk Elephant's line. So every single product in their lineup is going to have marula oil, and I can handle it in like one product in my routine, or maybe even two products in my routine. But if I start adding like 3 or more Drunk Elephant products that feature marula oil, my skin starts to react poorly to it. And I've even tried their virgin marula oil, like the pure oil they sell, and I had a horrible like reaction or rash to it. Luckily I had only patch tested it on one area, but that area, it got real bad real quick. So I learned to kind of take a step back from marula oil, I can use it in tiny little pieces. It's almost like, the dose makes the poison. If I only use a teensy little bit or one product that has it, then I'm okay, but I can't go overboard. So that's the first thing, is I have to be cautious with this just because of that ingredient. And I get that that's what Drunk Elephant's whole line is based off of, but I wish they had a couple of products in their lineup that just omitted it. I don't know. That's not their jam. That's not what they're gonna do. So I'm living with it. But that's the first thing. Second thing is, I did not like the consistency of this product and how it applied. As opposed to being a fluid or kind of like that gel mask, the Sukari Babyfacial is a cream, and it's a pretty thick, heavy cream. So this cream, I found that it didn't apply very evenly and smoothly on my skin, especially on the indents of my cheeks and on the inside of my nose. I felt like it would almost like collect there, and I'd get like a thicker layer. And it was just like, you can see it's got this really like, it's almost like a hair paste consistency. And you really got to work it to get it to smooth. So you can see it'll bunch up in certain areas, and it's not completely smooth. See how like when I run my finger, it's almost like having glue on your skin. And so it's just not very consistent. It just applies awkwardly. And then when you finally do get it worked in, because you do have to kind of like really work at it to get it in, you get an uneven layer, and then some layers or some parts have completely absorbed the product, right? So it's almost hard to tell once you finally get it smoothed out to even tell where you've applied it, which can be dangerous. Not dangerous, it's a concern when you're looking at an exfoliation product, because maybe you skipped a spot, maybe now you're going over and applying a second layer to a spot, which might cause over exfoliation. So I just don't like how dummy proof it is for application. I like that I can see exactly where this is going. Because of the color on this one, I know exactly where it's going. This one it's hard to tell exactly where it's going, and it seems like it's the most difficult out of all of these to get a consistent layer on your skin. So beyond that, it has 23%, or 25%, I'm sorry, AHA, 2% BHA, so very, very close to what you have here, just a few percentages less than on the AHA side. But as far as BHA, they're almost identical. But once again, this is like 3 times stronger on the AHA side and 4 times stronger than the Peach and Lily product. Once it's on, out of all 3 of these, this is the one that I noticed the least amount of like initial tingle or like initial burn or sensation from. That's not a bad thing, but it just kind of concerned me, and it made me feel like, is it because that consistency or that texture is so thick that is it causing the acids to have a harder time absorbing into my skin because it's just not as much of a fluid product? I don't know any of the science behind that, but that's just the feeling I got, is because it's almost like that paste. Is the paste on the outer side ever going to make contact with my skin, or my skin's going to be able to absorb anything? Or is it kind of just drying up and not being very effective? So that's just speculation. I don't know if that's true. Feel free to comment if you know the science behind this particular product, or how AHAs can, or how those chemicals can move freely through the consistency or the texture. But that's just my thought. Outside of that, you've got fermented pumpkin extract in here, which is such a cool ingredient. I love that. You also have aloe. You have camellia leaf extract. You've got apple fruit extract. So there's a lot of hydrating and actually some brightening ingredients in this one, and some nourishing ingredients that you're not going to find in the other 2. So it's kind of more of that, those richer hydrators or nourishing ingredients, which leads me to believe that this might actually be geared more towards a drier skin, which would make sense with the cream consistency, which would make sense for the marula oil, which would make sense for some of those other ingredients to be in there, as opposed to this just having aloe to kind of minimize the damage. And then this one is more about calming, but it seems like it's geared towards all skin types. So I don't know. I was talking about the kind of the results after this one and why I didn't like it. So it always left my skin kind of feeling a little bit raw, and even though the tingling sensation isn't as intense as these two, I don't know, my skin always just felt a little bit irritated, not only during the use of it, but after I rinsed it off. My skin just felt like more delicate or sensitive, kind of slightly irritated. So I don't know if that's because of the marula oil in it and my skin just not reacting well towards that, but I feel like it wouldn't leave my skin feeling raw necessarily. This just kind of stripped my skin, and I always felt like after I've used this product, or after I used it, I needed to come back through with like a really soothing or hydrating serum or ampule, or I needed to really get in there with a sheet mask that's been in the fridge just to like cool and soothe and calm my skin. So I was always looking towards like aloe ingredient or aloe products, or something that just had a lot of like cooling hydration, just really like kind of water bombing my skin with like a nice cool sheet mask or two. And then even going into the next couple of days, my skin just looked like, even though it was hydrated, it still looked tight. And it's almost like my skin just needed a couple days after using this, or at least a day, to kind of recover and reset. Whereas with both of these products, I didn't really have that recovery time, especially not with the Peach and Lily mask. This almost makes your skin look more recovered and healthy and hydrated after use. Like this actually amplifies that, whereas I felt like this one, I had to use all these other products just to kind of recover from using this. So that's just my personal experience. There's so many people. I belong to a Drunk Elephant Facebook group that would have the exact opposite to say, that they said this is incredibly nourishing and provides a lot of like deeper hydration and a lot of like a softening benefits as well as the exfoliation. But spending at least a month with each of these, this one just didn't do it for me. So, and I don't, at the end of the day, I don't mind that, because this is the one that's like 8-9 times more expensive than this. You know, you have to do the math with the ounces, but just on paper, when you're seeing them next to each other on a shelf, this looks to be 8 times more expensive than the ordinary product and twice as expensive as the Peach and Lily. So it's a tougher pill to swallow, and if I didn't like it, that's fine. I'm not going to come back to it. I would absolutely come back to the Peach and Lily one. I mean, this is my second jar, so I did. And I would come back to the ordinary one too, depending on budget or how I'm feeling about that. So as far as recommendations, I think this is an excellent place to start, even though it doesn't have the robust ingredients list, and it's not going to be as soothing and as calming and as hydrating as other options here. It's a great place to start for someone that just can't quite justify spending the money on these other two products. However, at the end of the day, I think this is the one that I would recommend to someone who is willing to, is comfortable spending the $43 and is just looking for the ultimate in exfoliation masks. This is where you need to be. And then this one, if you have incredibly, dry skin and need some really nourishing ingredients, it maybe go for the mini, the $28 mini, as I did, because it lasts forever. You don't need a ton of product. See how you like it, and save your receipts. I mean, if you try it and it's not living up to the money you spent on it, or you're not seeing the results that you like, then there's no problem with taking this product back and swapping it for something else. The same with your products from Ulta. I don't know what the situation is with the Ordinary website, but it's the lowest investment. So if you lost your $7, so be it. But yeah, good place to start. Good place to start, and just good. This is the good one for me. And I mean, if you want to try it to put it to the test compared to some other ones, or I don't know. I would go for the Peach and Lily product personally. So Sorry, Drunk Elephant, but that's what it is. So if you have any questions or need additional information, feel free to leave comments down below. I'm going to be back later on this week, so tomorrow or Saturday, with my sheet mask review video, and then yeah, we'll see you here next week for another product review. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you'd like to. That's always greatly appreciated. You can find me at AJK Beauty on Instagram. My blog is ajkbeauty, no spaces, .wordpress.com. The same with, obviously, Instagram, no spaces. And then I have a Facebook group too, at AJK Beauty. And you should be able to search that in the groups, and then mine will pop up. So yeah, you have lots of different outlets to share your information, and yeah, I'm happy to be part of the skincare community and share all these products with you, and I can't wait to do it all again next week. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay glowing. Bye.